Welcome to this Higby Labs product informational video.
Hello, I'm John Higby. In this video, I'll be showing you how we put together our 3-axis pan-tilt-roll camera head. But first, there's an important step which must be followed anytime you set up a system with more than one Hig Mover actuator. Now, because all the actuators are on a single communications bus, they must each have a unique bus address or ID for communication. And setting this up is very simple. Here's a mover fresh out of the box with the factory default settings. Now, the settings out of the box have bus ID, bus address number 1, and we're going to set this one, change it from number 1 to number 2. So I've got my app open here on the desktop, and I'm going to click connect, and we'll go to the mover tab and we'll find our mover, which is right there, number 1. And when we select it, it takes a few moments to load up the various settings and upload them from the mover to the app. And now all we do is we come over here where it says set bus address. We type in the address we want to change it to, which in this case will be number 2. And there's set bus address. And then we just come down here to save it to the mover's flash memory so that it's there the next time we power it up. And that's it. Now in our head we've got 3 of these, so we'll leave one of them set to 1. I've just set this one to number 2, and we'll set one more to number 3, and then we can put the whole head together. Alright, so now we've got addresses for movers 2 and 3 programmed in. Mover 1 already had address 1 programmed in out of the box. I've labeled these 3 movers with their addresses 1, 2, 3 for convenience, and now we can get started on putting the head together. So let's begin by cabling up that pan roll axis. We've got our JST pigtail here. This has the small mover connector on either side of it. We have 2 of these to connect the 3 actuators together. We start with the pan, plugging that right into there. Now we probably don't need the raceway cover, but I'm going to put that on just to demo how that goes. So now let's feed this up through the elbow. This is going to sit down here like that, so I'm going to feed this through here. And you see it come out the other end there. Let's get this screwed on. So we'll be using 4 of these button head screws. Alright, so now we're ready to do our roll, and there's the cable for it. That will be number 2. So on this one, this side of the elbow fastened to the face of the mover. This one fastens to the side using these 45-degree brackets. So you can see we're going to take this pigtail here, we're going to plug it right in there. Okay. And all right, and I'm going to attach the cover for this here, the wiring cover, which is that. So now we're ready for number 3, going right here. Let's get the cable plugged in, cover on. Alright, so now we're ready to add the tilt axis rotator, that is connecting the roll axis to the tilt axis, which will be here. And we have somewhat longer screws for these slotted places, and they go to the outer. You'll notice that our mover has 2 sets of screw holes. These go to the outer set. Screw these in, but we won't tighten them fully. This slotted adjustment wants to be able to slide. It's important to be able to balance the head. These movers are for balance loads because they are direct drive. All right, so now we have our, and you can see that that's adjustable. So now I'm going to place the tilt right there, and we'll get that screwed in. Alright, so now we've got our pigtail. We're going to plug our pigtail into here. We've got a little bit extra. I'm going to stuff it down into here, the extra, just for tidiness, and also because we'll need to put the bracket on here. All right. We have our camera bracket, which will go on here. And again, we've got our big screws with our long screws with the washers. So now we have our head, we have a camera, and we also have this set of iris rods, which will provide some extra adjustability for balance once we get to that point. Now at this stage, we can set this head up one of 2 ways. We can set it up as a pan tilt roll head or as a pan roll tilt head. The difference is, with a pan tilt roll head, the roll, which is this, is nested inside the tilt, which is this. A pan roll tilt head would be rotated 90 degrees like so. Now you have the tilt nested inside of the roll. I like this configuration. If you happen to be pointing straight down or straight up, you don't lose your ability to pan. You don't have a problem with what they call gimbal lock, where the roll axis and the pan axis are both doing roll. So I'm going to go for the pan roll tilt configuration, which is this. Now let's get the camera on and we'll see where we are for balance. All right, now right off you can see we're heavy on that side. So I'm going to take this whole thing and slide it over this way. actually not too bad right there. Maybe you could go back just a little bit. We take our wrench. So now we have, and as far as our balance, in this axis we're a bit heavy toward the rear, so I'm going to slide the camera forward on the rods like so, a bit. Now it's a little front heavy. Split the difference. All right. So there we have our camera in a pan roll tilt configuration.
Higby Labs also offers a 2-axis pan tilt only version of this head kit.
Thank you for joining me for this video on the Hig Mover pan tilt roll head. The next video will cover controlling the head from a 3-axis analog joystick via the Hig Hub Busmaster.